So it is finally the time to do my review after about 18 months or so of receiving the Pipdex Ultimate Bundle. I've finally got to use them in action within my work, in my corporate life as a business analyst, and I wanted to share the outcome with you. I wanted to give it a really good go of utilising all of the bundles, or all of the decks should I say, that came with the bundle, to give a really honest and in-depth review, although it's not going to cover absolutely every single one in detail. It's just to give a high-level flavour of what I've liked, what I haven't liked, and how things have moved on as well, because 18 months ago Pipdeck have revitalised their offering, especially for the Ultimate Bundle, so we shall explore that as well. So for those of you that might not be familiar with what Pipdex is, here is a quick view of what the Ultimate Bundle, at least what my Ultimate Bundle, and I say my Ultimate Bundle because I think the offering has now moved on, but what it looks like. And what they are is a set of tactics, which are tools and techniques delivered inside this really funky pack, in the form of cards or decks, which I guess is the name, where the name came from, Pipdex. And there is a range of different topics, tools, techniques, etc. that you can utilise straight away. So there is various decks themselves that comes in the Ultimate Bundle, so workshop tactics, productivity, innovation, strategy, brands, team tactics, all for various purposes, self-explanatory of course. There is also a digital version of each of these as well, but I think it's really fun to have purchased the physical cards, and I'll get into that in a second. So, the physical cards themselves, what one have I got at the moment? This is the Team Tactics. They all follow a similar structure. They are all, if you can see there, colour-coded, it's that way, colour-coded to structure itself around certain themes, so whether that might be one-to-one discussions or group sessions, etc. It's all colour-coded to easily find certain tactics that you want to adopt in that particular theme. But they're all structured in a similar way, so it gives you a quick overview of the deck itself, and an explanation on how to use them, and then with each tactic it gives really clear guidance on what that is, what the benefit of it is, and more importantly how you're going to execute that particular tactic. So really useful, a great product. It does come with an expensive price tag, and I ummed and ahed around whether I was going to invest in the whole Ultimate Bundle set, or whether I just wanted to purchase the individual tactic depending on what I was going to use the most. But I ultimately decided to get the Ultimate Bundle because it was better value for money, and I wanted to try all of them and give them a good go, and think that they do that incredibly well as I've gone through all of them now. There are some that I use more than others, so in particular the workshop tactics and the team tactics, they're probably the ones that I use the most, but there is loads of benefit in some of the others. Productivity and innovation I have used, others which they're not so relevant for me, so I don't use them on a day-to-day basis. That would be the strategy tactics and the brand tactics. I haven't really used those since I've had the pack, so I can't really comment too much. Haven't used them in the real world, as it were, but the others I have. What I think is great about them is it takes away the research and all the time that you would spend thinking of something, how to deliver a workshop, if I focus on this one for now. going away, doing all the research, thinking how you would deliver a workshop and what would work best for certain types of audiences. And then also, if you get thrown into something relatively last minute, that happens to us all the time, go and deliver this particular workshop and you have a few days notice, for example. This is where, for me, this becomes a really, really powerful tool and a great investment, because you can literally have a look, decide on a rough outline on what that workshop is aiming to deliver, and then you can find the tools and tactics that are going to be the most appropriate, and it will outline things like how long it's going to take and a clear explanation of what or on how to go delivering that particular tactic. So for me, that is an incredibly powerful tool, because it sort of takes that anxiety away when you're planning for, in this case, workshops, but it could be any of these items and tactics that you utilize. But it takes away that anxiety of, how am I going to do that? How am I going to deliver that with such short notice? Because a lot of that time would be spent doing a lot of research, looking up, what would work well for this particular type of audience, etc. Whereas this is just right in front of me. I keep it in front of me in my desk. I've used it in examples where I've pulled it. I've pulled out the tactics within meetings settings themselves, and again, that has been really, really welcomed from the participants that I'm communicating with at that point in time. So there is the point of cost. It is an expensive outlay. It was when I purchased it. I think that has now increased somewhat in price, and it is a consideration that really I ummed and ahed about for some time. I'm trying to give a really impartial view on whether I think this has been worth it, and given the price tag, which is high, I think I've got the benefit out of it. I did say that I only utilise some of them, but it's great to have them on hand if I ever did get into more strategic conversations or something to do around brand planning, etc. I've got those on hand, and I feel that I would be much more confident having those conversations with all of these decks on hand. So whilst it is a outlay and whilst it is an investment, it's exactly that. It will help you become a more rounded, better individual in terms of a professional toolkit that can make you a more well-rounded professional. So I definitely think I would recommend these for the cost. Now, you're probably wondering if there is a tactic pack called the Sales Tactics, because that did seem very, very salesy, what I was speaking around just then, and it definitely wasn't meant to be. I'm trying to be as impartial as possible. For full transparency, I do have an affiliate code for Pipdex. Feel free to use it. It gets you some money off. I'm not too sure, but the link will be in the description below. Feel free to utilize it, but the point of this review was to try to be as impartial as possible, and that's mainly because I really did have a dilemma when I was picking this, and hopefully it has helped somewhat to whether it's relevant and whether it is worth the cost to you. So feel free to check it out. As I said, I haven't gone too much into detail just because even though that the tactics, there are some generic things that are out there, generic tools, generic techniques. I'm sure all of this information that is provided within the pack themselves is available online. You could probably produce your own, but there are a lot of tools and techniques, and I really like the physical side to it, where you can just pick it out, etc. Makes it a lot easier than having it up on your computer screen, but that is a personal preference. So, is there anything that is highly innovative and that you're going to find something that you haven't found before? Maybe not if you've been around these particular topic areas before. So if you're used to delivering workshops, etc., there might be a few new ideas in there, but certainly nothing that I haven't had before. I think where the main benefit is just laying it all out with the explanations and just having that at your fingertips. I think for me that is the main benefit. But as I said, this isn't meant to be a sales pitch, it's meant to be more of a review. So if you do have any questions, etc., feel free to drop them in the comments or message me directly, and happy to answer any questions that you've got, which might help you make a decision on whether this is a suitable product for you or not.